Why do you keep attracting the same type of person into your life? Why does that one friend drain you while another energizes you? Why do you feel stuck in a career that looks perfect on paper but feels soul-crushing? Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't actually know yourself. You know the version of you that makes others comfortable. The version that says, "I'm fine," when you're falling apart. The version that people pleases until you're exhausted. But your real personality? The one making all your decisions behind the scenes? You've never met her. And that's exactly why your life feels off. Psychologist Carl Jung spent 50 years studying this. He discovered that we all have a hidden personality archetype that controls everything. Who we love, how we earn money, why we self-sabotage, and what actually fulfills us. Most people die without ever discovering theirs. In this video, you're going to see 5 symbols. The moment you see one that makes you feel something, maybe discomfort, maybe recognition, maybe fear, that's your archetype revealing itself. And I'm warning you right now, once you see who you really are, you can't unsee it. Your entire life will start making sense in a way that's almost disturbing. So if you're ready to stop living on autopilot and actually understand why you do what you do, stay with me. This might be the most important video you watch this year. Okay, let me prove this to you real quick. Think about your last relationship that ended badly. Now think about the one before that. See any patterns? Same red flags, different person? That's not coincidence. That's your hidden archetype, choosing the same type of person over and over. Or here's another one. You know that feeling when you're at work, doing everything right, but you still feel empty? Like you're playing a character in someone else's movie? That's because you're playing a character, one that society wrote for you. Carl Jung called this your persona, the mask you wear in public. But underneath that mask is your authentic archetype, your real personality blueprint. And here's what's fascinating. Jung discovered that we spend the first half of our lives building this mask, and the second half trying to remove it. Most people never remove it. They just keep wondering why they're miserable despite doing everything right. Look, I'm not going to waste your time with surface-level personality traits. Are you introverted or extroverted? That's kindergarten stuff. We're going deeper. Your archetype determines why you tolerate certain treatment in relationships, why money flows easily for some people, but you're always struggling, why you explode at random things. It's not random. It's your archetype under stress. Why certain people trigger you instantly, why you feel stuck no matter how hard you try. Research backs this up. People who understand their core archetype report 3x higher life satisfaction because they stop fighting who they are and start designing a life that actually fits. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to show you 5 symbols. Don't think too hard. Don't pick what seems good or positive. Pick the one that makes you feel something, even if that feeling is uncomfortable. Your subconscious knows which one is yours. Trust it. Here are your 5 symbols. Which one is calling you? Got it? Okay, let's find out who you really are. We're starting with symbol number 1. If you chose symbol number 1, the phoenix, you're about to understand patterns you've been living for years. The phoenix represents transformation through challenges. This is the archetype of the person who rises from difficult situations stronger than before. You're a core personality trait. Resilient transformer. You have an extraordinary ability to rebuild yourself after setbacks. While others might break under pressure, you somehow transform it into fuel for growth. Career loss? You pivot to something better. Relationship ended? You emerge wiser. Health challenge? You develop strength you didn't know you had. The psychology behind it. Carl Jung called this the transformation archetype. You don't just survive difficulties. You're fundamentally changed by them. Most people try to return to normal after hardship. You create a new normal. Real-life patterns you've probably noticed. You've had multiple major life reinventions, career changes, relocations, complete lifestyle shifts. People are amazed by your ability to bounce back. You get restless when life becomes too comfortable or predictable. You the friend people call during their crisis. Because you understand transformation, you've been told you're too intense or exhausting to keep up with. The challenge, this is important. Your biggest struggle? You sometimes create chaos when things are too stable because transformation has become your comfort zone. You might notice You end relationships or quit jobs right when things are going well. You addicted to change and uncomfortable with consistency. You struggle to celebrate achievements. Because you're already planning the next goal, you have difficulty maintaining long-term friendships. Because you keep evolving, people feel left behind by your constant growth. The core issue: you become so good at transformation that you sometimes destroy stability prematurely. Not everything that's stable is stagnant. How to balance this energy? Your transformative ability is a genuine gift. Channel it intentionally. Help others through their transformations. Coaching, mentoring, or counseling could be your calling. Practice stability without stagnation. Learn the difference between healthy consistency and being stuck. Document your transformations. Your journey could inspire others who are struggling. Career paths for Phoenix types: life coaches, therapists, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, crisis management professionals. If this resonates deeply, comment Phoenix below. Let's see how many Transformers are watching. Symbol number 2, you chose the storm. You're the catalyst, the person who changes everything you touch. The storm represents powerful energy that clears away what's outdated to make room for what's necessary. You're not here to maintain the status quo. You're here to challenge it. Your core personality trait: change agent. You walk into situations and immediately see what's not working. Inefficient systems? You overhaul them. Toxic group dynamics? You address them directly. Outdated policies? You challenge them. And this directness has probably labeled you as difficult your entire life. The psychology behind it: Jung identified this as a catalyst archetype. People who are psychologically wired to disrupt stagnation. Most people adapt to broken systems. You feel compelled to fix them, even when it's uncomfortable. Patterns in your life: you've been called too blunt or too honest. Repeatedly, you lose patience with people who complain, but won't change if you walked away from comfortable situations that felt wrong. People either love your directness or are intimidated by it. You have a small circle of close friends who appreciate your authenticity. The challenge: storm types struggle with creating change before building trust. People resist even good ideas from someone they don't trust yet, burning bridges unnecessarily. Because you won't tolerate dysfunction. Difficulty understanding people who need time to process change. Loneliness from being too much. For most people, using confrontation as your default mode instead of strategic communication. The real issue: your instinct to disrupt is valuable, but timing matters. Not every battle needs to be fought immediately. How to balance this energy? Your catalyst nature is desperately needed. Learn strategic timing. The right message at the wrong time gets rejected. Build alliances first. Even revolutionaries need supporters. Choose your battles. Save your energy for changes that truly matter. Career paths for storm types: change management consultants, activists, innovators, journalists, reform-focused professionals. Storm personalities: comment catalyst below. Number 3, you chose the mirror. You're the truth seeker, the person who sees what others miss. The mirror represents clarity and insight. While most people see surface-level interactions, you perceive underlying patterns, hidden motivations, and unspoken truths. Your core personality trait: intuitive analyst. You read people instantly. Body language, tone shifts, energy changes. You catch everything. It's like having a sixth sense for authenticity. You know when someone's lying, when they're hiding pain, when they're pretending to be something they're not. And this ability has probably made relationships complicated. The psychology behind it: Carl Jung called this intuitive perception. You process social information at a subconscious level that others don't access. Research shows only about 15% of people have this heightened perceptive ability. It's both a gift and a burden. Patterns you recognize. You can predict relationship outcomes very early, often accurately. Friends get upset when you point out truths they're not ready to hear. You read drawn psychology, human behavior studies, or pattern recognition. You prefer one-on-one deep conversations over surface-level social gatherings. You've been called paranoid or overthinking when you're actually just perceptive. The challenge: mirror types struggle with trusting people because you see their flaws, immediately judging others for not being authentic when they're just protecting themselves. Isolation, because maintaining your perceptive guard is exhausting. Using your insight to manipulate situations. even unconsciously, testing people constantly to see if they're worthy of your trust. The truth: your perceptive gift doesn't make you superior. It makes you responsible to use it wisely. How to balance this energy. Your analytical ability should serve, not alienate. Practice compassion with your insights. People's flaws don't make them worthless. Find fellow truth seekers. Community exists for people like you. Use your gift professionally. Human resources, psychology, research, investigation. Your skills are valuable. Career paths for mirror types. Psychologists, HR professionals, researchers, detectives, behavioral analysts. Comment mirror if this describes you. Number 4, the crown. You chose the leader archetype. The crown represents authority, vision, and strategic thinking. You don't just participate in life. You organize it, lead it, improve it. You're the person people naturally look to for direction. You're a core personality trait. Natural strategist. You see 5 steps ahead while others are focused on today. You build systems, create structure, and establish order naturally. Group projects? You end up leading. Family decisions? People defer to your judgment. Career? You're on the leadership track, whether you plan it or not. The psychology behind it. Jung identified the sovereign archetype, people with innate leadership qualities. Modern psychology calls this agentic personality, self-directed, goal-focused, and results-oriented. You score high on conscientiousness and low on need for external validation. Your life patterns. You were given leadership roles from childhood, class representative, team captain. You feel frustrated working under incompetent leadership. You sacrifice personal relationships for professional advancement. People call you intimidating or too ambitious. You trust very few people because you've been disappointed by those who couldn't match your standards. The challenge. Crown types struggle with viewing relationships as transactions or strategic alliances, difficulty being vulnerable. It feels like weakness. Controlling everything because delegation feels risky, loneliness at the top. You achieve success but feel disconnected, holding people to impossibly high standards. The core wound. You learned early that showing vulnerability leads to disappointment. So you built walls. But now those walls keep out genuine connection too. How to balance this energy. Your leadership is valuable and needed. Lead with wisdom and humanity. The best leaders inspire loyalty through authentic care. Practice strategic vulnerability. Sharing challenges doesn't diminish authority. It builds trust, redefines strength. True power includes emotional intelligence and empathy. Career paths for crown types. Executive leadership, entrepreneurship, project management, strategic planning, organizational development. Leaders, comment crown below. Number 5, the bridge. You chose the Integrator archetype. The bridge represents the ability to connect 2 different worlds, perspectives, or phases of life. You're the person who understands multiple viewpoints and helps others find common ground. Your core personality trait. Empathetic mediator. You have a unique ability to understand seemingly opposite perspectives. Conservative and liberal? You see validity in both. Logic and emotion? You integrate them naturally. Career and family? You find balance. This makes you an invaluable mediator, but it also means you sometimes lose yourself trying to please everyone. The psychology behind it. Carl Jung called this the integration archetype. You have what modern psychology terms cognitive complexity, the ability to hold multiple, even contradictory ideas simultaneously and find synthesis. Patterns in your life. Friends from very different backgrounds come to you for advice. You're the family peacemaker. During conflicts, you struggle with decision-making because you see too many valid options. People trust you because you don't judge their choices. You've been called too understanding or fence-sitting when you're actually being nuanced. The challenge. Bridge types struggle with loss of personal identity, trying to accommodate everyone, difficulty making firm decisions. Everything is merit. People-pleasing at the expense of your own needs, emotional exhaustion from constantly mediating resentment when your bridge building isn't appreciated. The truth. Your ability to see multiple perspectives is wisdom, not weakness. But you must have boundaries. How to balance this energy. Your integrative ability is healing. Set clear boundaries. You can understand all sides without carrying all burdens. Develop your own solid stance. Understanding others doesn't mean abandoning your values. Use your gift professionally. Mediation, counseling, conflict resolution, diversity work. These need your skills. Career paths for bridge types. Mediators, counselors, diplomats, cultural liaisons, human resources, social workers. Comment bridge if this is your archetype. So, did that hit a little too close to home? Here's the thing. Knowing your archetype isn't enough. Most people watch videos like this, nod along, and then go right back to living the same patterns. Don't be that person. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." You just made the unconscious conscious. Now what? Here's your action step for today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. 1. Write this down. My archetype is your type. This explains why 1 pattern you now understand. 2. Do one thing differently. Phoenix. Stop waiting for the perfect time, for that change you've been avoiding storm. Have that honest conversation you've been postponing mirror. Trust your gut on that decision you've been overthinking crown. Delegate one thing you've been controlling bridge. Say no to one thing that drains you. 3. Pay attention. For the next 7 days, notice when you're living authentically versus wearing the mask. That awareness alone will change everything. Now, here's what happens next. I'm creating a test on why you keep choosing the wrong partners based on childhood attachment patterns. If you want that, hit subscribe. And comment your archetype below. Let's see what personality types are watching. Are we mostly phoenixes? Storms? Let me know. One more thing. If this video explained patterns you've been living for years, send it to someone who needs to see it. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone is helping them understand themselves. You're not broken. You're not weird. You just finally know who you are. Now go live like it.